What is going on YouTube? Omega V here with you, and today I'm bringing you a quick top list of cards that I think are highly overrated. So these cards are cards that lots of people use in their decks, and I just don't necessarily see them as necessary to run. So yeah, this is just gonna be a quick top 3 because just to start things out, I don't want to do more than 3. Everyone does top 5, so let's just do top 3. So top 3 is actually a tie between 2 cards. We have Speedroid Terratop. So yeah, this card, don't get me wrong, it's a good card if you're running it in a Speedroid deck. Not so much if you're not running a Speedroid deck. What does it do? If you control no monsters, you can special summon it. Then, once it's normal or special summon, you can add 1 Speedroid monster from your deck to your hand. So yeah, you get a second monster that you can potentially summon out if you don't have one. But the reason it's tied for the the reason why it's tied for third place on this list is because usually people run him with Speedroid Tarkin Tomborg. Alright, so what does he do? You control a wind monster, special summon this card from your hand. Tribute this card, special summon 1 Speedroid tuner from your deck. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except wind monsters. Yeah, so cool, you have the 2 of them in there, but what are you going to do? You're going to do a rank 3 play with the rank 3 Terratop and the rank 3 Tarkin Tomborg? Yeah, you can do that. Like I said, if you're running a Speedroid tuner, like Triad Dice, no, not Triad Dice, I think it's Red Eye Die. Hold on. Yeah, Red Eye Die. You can summon him out and he can become whatever level you need him to be, from 1 to 6. So that's a good combination, but most people only run the Tarkin Tomborg and the Terratop, which makes 0 sense to me. I get it, it's a good little play if you have nothing else that you can do at the time, but I feel like most other decks have enough support that you can actually not do this thing and potentially ruin your chance of special summoning anything else. So yeah, that's number 3 on the list for us. Moving on to number 2. Probably one of my least favorite cards in the game. Why? Okay, so hear me out on this one. Dimensional Barrier, it's a good trap to run if you are, if you're running this type of stall deck or something, or if you know what your opponent's trying to summon. And yeah, so what do? You declare 1 monster type, any type at all, so Ritual Monster, Fusion Monster, Synchro, X8, or Pendulum. Your opponent can't special summon any of that monster, and all the monsters that are on the field that have of that type, their effects are negated. So why do I dislike this card? Well, it's a one-time use. You can use it once. So say you're playing a ritual deck like my Blackluster Soldier deck. Well, alright, cool, you know that they're gonna try to ritual summon, so you declare ritual monsters. Okay, that's fine. My build for that deck, I can special summon out monsters from my extra deck, I can special summon out regular monsters in my hand or deck that I have, even potentially, depending on what cards I have in my hand. So just because I'm trying to ritual summon doesn't mean it's the only thing I can do. And if you're banking on this card to save you that turn, well, you're kind of screwed there. And besides that point, I believe this card is still about a $70 card. So I just don't see the point in running this when you can run you can run a lot of other cards that do essentially the same thing to stall your opponent out for one turn. If you haven't seen some of the other videos that I've posted, I've talked a little about how there's a lot of things that you can do to break your opponent's strategy for that turn, which makes it pretty much so that they have to end their turn without being able to do what they want. So that's number 3 on here for us. Alright, and last but not least, we have my least favorite card ever printed, and a card that I feel just has no reason being in the game whatsoever. Pot of Desires. Banish 10 cards from the top of your deck, face down, and draw 2 cards. You can only activate 1 Pot of Desires per turn. Yeah, I don't agree with this card in the slightest. I think it is completely ridiculous that you're banishing 10 cards from the top of your deck. You can't even look at which cards you're getting, so unless you are using effects that get back your banished monsters, they're done. So there's always the potential that if your deck has a really good staple card, say I'm playing my Dark Magician deck, and it banishes all 3 Dark Magicians in those 10, along with 3 of the Magic Circles and an Eternal Soul, well, you lost that game. There's nothing you can do about it, really. Really, what are you gonna do? The entire key pieces of the deck are gone. So when I see people running 2 or 3 of these just to be able to get out, just to get a decent hand or something, I'm just like, why? You could have easily just screwed yourself over with any deck that you're playing. Even if you're playing an ABC deck, you could potentially send all 9 copies of your ABC monsters to the banished, and you can't get them from that point anymore. You can with that deck due to a trap card that they have, but that involves having to activate the trap card later on. So I just don't see this card as being worth it. Not to mention, it's still an $80 card, and yeah, I just don't see the value in this. I pulled one of these and I sold it immediately because I knew I was never going to put this in any of my decks. So yeah, that's my quick little rant for today, guys. Keep posted, there'll be more Yu-Gi-Oh videos coming up. So I just wanted to have a little something up today just for fun. So yeah, until then, later.